Hello everybody and welcome to your market update for April. All right, it is no secret that the Calgary market is red hot right now, even more hot than we were at this time last year, which was basically a record-breaking year for our city. So why is this happening? Well, I've got a special segment for you guys here today. I'm at my desktop because I want to share my screen with you and take you through several articles that are going to explain to you why the Calgary real estate market is as hot as it has been for the last 2 years and why it's likely to continue to be hot for the years to come. So first up, as you can see here, we've got some incredible news regarding population growth for Alberta. Alberta grew by over 200,000 people in 2023, all right? We've got lots of positive net migration and lots of great things to be excited about with our city. So let me show you a few slides here that'll talk about this in a little bit more detail. Okay, first up, one of the most important metrics that I look for as a real estate investor is the positive net migration. All right, how many people are moving to an area versus moving away? And Alberta is really setting some incredible records here with respect to positive net migration. All right, in fact, we've set the highest number of positive net migrants to our province ever observed since Statistics Canada started tracking this statistic. Okay, and take a look at this. If you look at the number of immigrants that or positive net migrants from other provinces that Alberta has seen in 2023 versus other provinces, you can see that we are the hottest market in the country. This is the place to be. And if you take a look at it, we've got lots that are moving from Ontario, lots that are moving here from British Columbia. Basically, every jurisdiction in the country has more people coming to Alberta than Alberta is losing to those provinces. Okay, even Quebec has sent 2,000 people to us last year, more than we would have sent to them. So this is really good news, and it just says to me that the growth that we're seeing in Alberta is fundamentally supported. All right, we're doing a lot of things right here, which is really good news. Okay, so what's making up all of these migrants that's driving our market the way that it is? Well, we've got 39% from temporary international residents, 26% from permanent immigrants, 27% from the interprovincial net migration that we talked about before, and then 8% are from a natural increase. So more births than deaths here in our province. All right, all very healthy numbers, but very big numbers for our province. In fact, what it's doing is it's allowing Alberta to regain the momentum that we had for basically 2.5 decades between 1990 through till 2015. And 2015 is when we had this economic downturn. But now we're right back at it again, taking up a bigger and bigger piece of the population pie here in Canada. All right, it makes me very proud as an Albertan to see our numbers going this way, and it's something that I think is a good thing for all of Western Canada to see Alberta have a little bit more sway with respect to population numbers and the overall makeup that we have here in Canada. Okay, so now let's drive a little bit more local with this next segment here. Let's talk about the plebiscite motion that the city put out that was defeated. Okay, so what this is it's in relation to this blanket rezoning proposal that was a component of the housing affordability panel or report rather, that was put in front of City Council back in September of last year and then was debated at a special hearing of council on a weekend. They came in for a weekend to debate this. And one of the things that was in there was the prospect of changing the base zoning in Calgary from RC1, where you can have one structure on a property, to RCG, which would allow up to 4 structures on the property, okay? And so this is obviously a big change because it would remove a lot of the obstacles and blocks towards developers building more properties inside inner city communities here in Calgary, okay? And so this is obviously a contentious issue for many reasons, and they're wanting to have a public hearing on this now, which will happen in a few weeks' time on the 22nd of April, which I'm going to be at. I'll be there in support of the blanket rezoning change for reasons that we'll probably do another video on as we get closer to the hearing date. But anyways, this is big news here in Calgary because all of these people that are moving here need a place to live, and municipalities are now having to respond to all of this new demand on the real estate market and trying to add more supply to make this happen, okay? And This isn't just a municipal concern now. In fact, the Trudeau government has found another $15 billion in their budget to try and encourage more rental construction, rental development in municipalities. And they're putting some strings on this money for any developers that are seeking to take advantage of this. And so what they're saying is, hey, look, if you want our cash, you better remove the obstacles for developers and change the zoning from 1 unit to 4. Basically, exactly what is being contemplated with this special or this hearing that's going to happen, this public hearing on the 22nd, and then ultimately a vote by council. Okay, so this is a big topic across the whole country, and now there's money on the line for municipalities that go and do this. They can get some money from the federal government to help build and develop their communities, which I think is actually a pretty cool thing that the government is doing for this, and I hope our city wakes up to this. All right. Let's talk about interest rates now. Interest rates have been really, really high in comparison to what we've been used to in Calgary for the last few years. And now we're starting to see a lot of chatter about when they're going to come down and how much they're going to come down and how quickly, including the British Columbia Real Estate Association, which released this article here saying that they kind of expect a 0.25% rate cut in either April or June of this year, and that we should start to see successive decreases to the key lending rate until the end of this cycle, which would hopefully have rates at around 2.5% from the 5% that they're at now. Okay, so a big change there, which is obviously really relevant for anyone that is contemplating getting a new mortgage and entering the market, or has one that will come up for renewal over the next 2 years. Okay, so I think you should strongly consider getting a variable rate loan so that you can take advantage of some of these decreases as they show up. Or perhaps a shorter term fixed loan, 1, 2, or 3 years, so that you're not stuck in a 5-year fixed mortgage at high rates where they're at right now, right before it seems as though they're expected to start to decrease. Okay, so a little tip there. Okay, now let's talk about what's actually happening in the Calgary market and get to the sales statistics. So last month, we had prices increasing from where they were previously to $585,000, which is a 10% increase. Okay, now this month, they've gone up by about $12,500 again, which is a really healthy increase and nearly 11% now. Okay, so the average price of a piece of real estate in Calgary is just under $600,000, which is a barrier I'm sure that we're going to break through here next month. Okay, so here's a little graph that I've prepared to kind of show how sales and prices have been over the last year, because these successive increases from last month and then the month previous to this, $12,000 a month or so, these were a little bit different than what we'd seen really for the last 6 months prior to that, where basically from August of 2023 through to January of 2024, the average price was around $570,000. And then in each of the last 2 months, it's come up by about $12,000 each time, okay? Sales are coming up at the same time, so our market is really and truly heating up here right now. And you know why it is? It's because of all of these people that have moved to Alberta, all right? We're entering into the season and they're jumping into the market here for many reasons. They're probably hearing about interest rates coming down and they want to start to go for it, okay? So what about months of supply? Well, months of supply is sort of the barometer for whether you're in a buyer's market or a seller's market. And this is actually a little bit too hot for my comfort factor right now. Okay, we are now below 1 month worth of supply in our real estate market, which means if nobody put their house up for sale, we would be completely sold out in about 30 days time. All right, which is totally crazy and is not something that I think is sustainable for a healthy market. Okay, Toronto and Vancouver, we're in the position of having really low months of supply. It just pushes the pricing up and people do crazy things for housing. And so I would love to see more supply getting added so that we can accommodate all of the demand from the people that are moving to Alberta here. Okay, so this is something to watch, and I'll keep you updated on this every month here throughout the selling season. In terms of segment pricing, everything is moving up right now. Okay, nearly $740,000 for a detached property. Row townhouses up nearly $450,000, up 20% from last year. This is a nice little segment within the market that I think it would be good to consider for anyone that can't find a small house. Try and find a townhouse instead. Semi-detached properties up to $658,000, and then apartment pricing up near $340,000, up 17% year over year. Some good healthy numbers there. With respect to sales statistics, well, last month we had 2,100 sales. This month we've got just under 2,700. That's what we would expect to see. However, new listings are not coming up to the same extent that we would hope that they would. All right. Last year we had a 13% increase. This year we've got a 4.3% decrease relative to last year. Still more new listings that are coming, but not to the level that we would hope to see, and hopefully we can see some more inventory hitting our market. Perhaps some spillover from the new construction that we've seen in the last few years. It would be great to see those properties get out there and hit the open market. Okay, and you can see here from the graph, this is the overall graph that explains how the market has been. Looking here at the red line, which shows the benchmark price, how it's jumped up 2 big steps here in the last 2 months. A big change from where we had been for the last 6 months. Basically, a lot of people were maybe waiting it out to see what it was going to be like. Well, now everyone is jumping into the market. And if you look over here, okay, to the far right-hand side of the graph, you can see that the sales, the green bar, is bigger than the inventory amount, which is the blue part, okay? And this is the first time that this has happened in all of the months that are at least been tracked here since going back to last year, which is truly incredible that we're this hot right now in such the early spring market conditions with more sales than we have inventory coming, which is certainly an indication that it's going to be an even hotter year this year than it was last year. All right, so that's our market update here for this year or this month. Thanks very much for watching. If you're in the market to buy or sell, please reach out to us here at Redline Real Estate. Would love to give you guys a hand with your move this year despite the market conditions. Thanks again, and we'll see you guys next month.